Okay, so we're going to get ourselves moving on in the shop. I was going through some of my tutorials, and it seems like the mic was kind of overpowering, and it's like the more I lowered it down, it kept going up, so I had to cut the boost. I hope it's better now. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to do tires, because tires are important to understand what you're dealing with, because it's no longer buying rims and tires and then away you go. What you have is that you have how many that you want, the rim size. Now I haven't used this one, but I think this is probably going to be the width of the rim. Most of the time I just get my rim size and deal with it from there. I'm just showing you the basics here. So in each all the different rims you get will be different kinds of rim sizes, from the lowest to 12 or whatever all the way to the highest, which is like 25. So when you're working on a customer's car, it is important to know the correct rim size as well as the tire size, because in the tire size, once again, this is the rim, but this is going to be its height or wheelbase from the rim to the tread line, and then this is for the width of the tire long ways to how wide it is. So you have to pay attention to the numbers, because you can, if you get the numbers wrong, the car will probably not be released. I have always paid attention to make sure they're right. I mean, if you want to go around on one of your restore projects and put yourself a set of 25s on a Flamingo because you think it looks cool, then that's fine for you. Then you just go and be your 25 guy rim and go put them tires on that car, regardless how silly it's going to look. That's, like I said before, it's all about how you do things. It's your deal. But when you're dealing with a customer's vehicle, that is something completely different. This is one of my personal vehicles that I have sitting up there, because because some of them have been restored, but not all of them, and therefore this is going to be a future restore. I'm just not ready for it right now. That's neither here nor there. This is going to be what we're going to use for the tire. So when you get the tire off, it's going to be listed in your group. So you already know by looking at this that this is going to be a 205 75 R15. So, because I'm not ready to buy new tires, haven't decided what I'm using, but I know I'm not using this. So we're going to take it apart, and you get to see the tire machine do that. Okay. So we're going to simulate a purchase of this tire and whatnot. So we're going to look for a retro rim, which is a 12. It has to be a 15 rim. We need a 205 75 width. That is going to be a 15 rim. Now, if you look on your real car, if you want, that's what you're going to see. That's what it means. So we go in here, and then, oh yeah, that's going to be a vintage tire wall as well. So we would have to go to the vintage tire wall. It's going to be a 15 rim. It's going to be a 205. Whoops. And its width is going to be 75. And then we would buy that. And then we have ourselves the rim retro 12, which in parentheses is a 15. And this is the ET. That's where that number that says 0 on the rim. And I wasn't sure, but I'm surmising that's for the width of the rim. Because I'm not a big, I don't buy giant, huge tires on the car. That's not my thing. That's for everybody else. To me, it looks silly. To somebody else, it's cool. You know, that's all about what you want. So we get our rim, and then we would make sure this was a 15, and then we would buy it. Since it doesn't specify, which this is probably for the width of the rim, and you only need one, so it's not like we need to buy 4 of them. Then what you would do is buy it. Remember, this is just the example. And then we would run over here as fast as we can, put our tire together. Snatch this puppy off, put him on the balancer. If the tire has not been on the balancer, you cannot install it on the car. I know you can for real, but in the game you can't. The reason why is that tires, when they're brand new, they're not perfect. Where they're fused together at so they can be a full 360 degrees offsets the balance on the tire. So when it does that, speeds greater than 20 miles an hour will make that section shake. So if you got 4 tires not balanced, you'll be riding about 30 miles an hour and the car will be shaking your teeth out of your mouth. You have stick-ons, so then you have the rim clips. Rim clips are used usually on steel rims, and the stick strips go on the aluminum ones so they don't damage it. Some aluminum rims are made where you could be able to use the regular rim clips, but they would go like behind in the back so that you don't see them from the front. It's not so much tacky, but when they get removed or shipped, they scar that kind of a rim. Anyways, enough of that. Let's get back into this. And then we install our new tire. Because the tire sections will be, when they're put together, it'll be a group fit. So that group will stay like that once it is finished. It doesn't matter if you put a whole bunch of them in a group fit in your storage, they're still going to be the group fit to be able to put onto whatever car you want. And that's pretty much the basis of the tire tutorial. Alright, let's get serious here and get back to work.